Good morning, recession. I, Glendon Cameron, believe that we're 18, maybe 15 to 24 months out from a recession. Now, that seems like a lot of time, but it's really not. So I'm making some moves, and I think that you should also make some moves because I think this one's going to be worse than the last one. And why do I say this? 44% of the people in the United States of America cannot come up with $400. It sounds crazy, right, to someone who has $400. 67% of Americans could not come up with $1,000 cash in an emergency. And once again, I want you to think about all of the title pawn shops, the payday loans. Really think about that someone, and I used to be part of the America. I remember pawning some CDs. I remember going to the pawn shop all of the time when you could get those CDs for Columbia House and you build up a collection of 40, 50. I remember pawning my CDs. I used to be part of that part of America that did not have any financial discipline, no financial strategy, no financial plan. Now, it's been a long time since I was a member of that segment of America, but I remember yesterday I did something something I used to do. I researched poor people. I researched the economy. I researched, the fake job numbers, the middle class, and the numbers do not look good. It is, and this is how this recession is going to be, just like the last recession. There will be a group of people who will not be touched. They'll make more money, they'll start businesses, they'll do things. And what is the difference between those people who are not touched and those who are stroking it out? They're prepared. They're prepared for the recession. They don't have credit card debt. They don't have car payments. A lot of them don't even have mortgages. They just have assets and cash. So when the bottom falls out, they just go in and they get 2 and 3 and 4 times their money. There are people who are sitting on the edges, sidelines, who are waiting for this to happen. They can't wait for this to happen. Now, for you, my good people, how many of you have a war chest of $10,000? Put that in the comments. How many of you have no credit card debt? Put that in the comments. How many of you own your own home? Now, this stuff seems very complicated, but it's not. If the only debt that you have is a mortgage, you are going to be in a serious position to rake out in this next recession, because what's going to happen is everything's going to be on sale. Humans will be on sale. That's right, employees. Humans will be on sale. Cars will be on sale. TVs will be on sale. Real estate will be on sale. Everything's going to be on sale. Now, we don't know where it's coming from because, I watched a lot of stuff because last time the recession was caused by the housing bubble. And, crypto is not big enough to cause a recession. If the crypto market completely disappeared, it wouldn't even touch the capital markets. So that's not going to be it. I think it's going to come from banking. I think that's where it's going to be. It's going to come from banking. They're going to be overextended, over-leveraged, too big to fail. The protocols that were put in place to prevent them from doing what they did last time have been removed by the Trump administration. So that's why I say 15 to 24 months, because there's already a lot of expansion. There's building. Real estate is, in many large metropolitan areas, it's too expensive. You cannot, in my neighborhood, a 1-bedroom, it's $1,400. A 1-bedroom. I remember about 10 years ago, this girl I was dating, Her mortgage was $1,600 on a 4-bedroom house with 2-car garage and a finished basement. It's $200 more. So just to show you that, real estate's a good place to park your money in a recession if you're not having to be super leveraged. That's the key. So what we're going to talk about is some steps that you can take to go ahead and set yourself up. And we're going to talk about the tiers and the categories of people who need to be very, very aware of their situation. So put it out there gently. How many broke dick Dannies do I have out here? You're probably the one in the worst position. You're probably the one who will be the most harmed. Broke dick Danny, no assets, a lot of debt, low income. You've got the worst trifecta of all times. You people will be decimated in this next recession. So you've got 15 to 24 months to turn around to get yourself out of that situation. And it can be done, but it's going to be a lot of hard work. It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of effort. It's going to take devotion. It's going to take commitment. Because if you do not heed me and heed me now, you're going to suffer later. Just simple facts. Because when we have the divorce rate is at its lowest it's ever been, but the rest of the economy looks like it's just going turbocharged. But when you peel back those layers, we're just ripe. And I was listening to Ray Dalio. He's one of these big hedge fund managers. He said repeatedly that the current economic conditions were like 1929. Same kind of stuff. And this was the Great Depression. It's going to be good for some people, and it's going to be very bad for others. Now, for those of you who put in the comments, if you don't have $10,000 cash, not in the market, not in your 401k, I was dating this girl, and she said she had like 20,000 saved, right? Then it was in her 401k, and I was like, baby girl, that's not savings, that's investment. You really got to understand that. So this is $10,000 free and clear in a checking account, maybe a money market account where you can get that 1.2% interest or something like that. But you need that $10,000 as soon as possible. You need that $10,000 even if you have debt. I'm going to tell you something that most financial people will not tell you. You will need to pay the minimums on your credit card and get that $10,000 established before you pay off your credit card debt. And this is why. You have an opportunity to get ahead of the curve. So you could use all your money to pay down your debt, right? And that leaves no money for savings. So you paying down your debt, you're paying down your debt, you're paying down your debt. Something happens. You lose your job. Your company goes out of business. You get sick. All of a sudden, that income stream that you were using to service that debt disappears. You still have some debt, you have no money, and you have no income. So it is imperative that you get the 10 to 15 grand saved up as soon as possible. You may have to change your cell phone plan. You may have to sell your car. I'm serious, because right now, this is very much like when I started this channel. Well, I started in a recession. So this is pre-recession, but I knew that we were in a recession based upon what was happening with my business. My business boomed. It really did, because there were so many people that were forced to look for secondhand merchandise. So do whatever you have to get that 10 to 15 grand in the bank. That should be job number one. Second thing you need to do, if you're in the position to save your 10, 15 grand, you should get rid of all your debt. If you got a mortgage, I understand you can't get rid of that, but anything other than the mortgage, you should get rid of. You should do whatever you can to get rid of that, because what's going to happen is, let's say you have a car and let's say you do it and you buy a brand new car about 8 months before the recession hits. You now not only paying money on a depreciating asset, you're paying money on a rapidly depreciating asset, because remember what happened last time. Car prices dropped 5-10 grand. So the people who bought at the top of the market got screwed by like 15-20 grand on certain purchases. So you've got to get rid of everything. I don't care what you have to do. You have to treat this as almost a religious mission, that you will have to get rid of this stuff. Another thing that you have to do, you've got to change your financial habits big time. You've got to completely eradicate bad money management, because if you take these bad habits into a recession, the pain is going to be so much greater. It's going to be so much harsher for you and your family. Now, I'm being very sober. I'm not joking around, because I believe in my heart of hearts this is coming. And I believe that if you act now and start doing certain things, you can get ahead of the curve. But if you continue to be sticking your head in the sand and acting like, oh, this ain't coming, and I think this one is going to be just as long and maybe longer as the last one. We're still coming out of it. There are still sectors of the real estate market that have not recovered. And once again, what do we know? The people at the bottom of the ladder, the folks who are just holding on to that last rung, they get decimated. Leverage, and this is one of the big things that many people preach. Other people's money. That will be the death of many people. That will be a financial suicide, because one of the things that I have done is I've gone through my business and my personal finances. My personal finances, there really isn't anything there. I mean, I just don't have a lot of stuff going on there. In my business stuff, I made a lot of changes with the business to prepare for this, because let's say this doesn't happen. You'll just have 10-15 grand in the bank, no credit card debt. I don't know of a time that to be that well off is a bad thing. So even if this doesn't happen, but I'm almost 100% certain that it will happen, that because we've had 112 quarters of uninterrupted growth. The record is 120. It's 120. And that was in the 90s. So, and it also could come from China, because back when Reagan was the president, we had the number one economy in the world. We were the biggest creditor in the world. We lent money to everyone. We were the biggest importer in the world. We were the biggest exporter in the world. We were all of that. And in 30 years, it's the complete reverse now. China is the big dog in the global market. If China has ripples in their economy, and they do, there's factories shutting down, there's a lot of stuff going on over there, it will impact the United States, because China is buying a lot of our debt. Chinese nationals are coming here and buying real estate with suitcases of cash in droves. That goes away, we will feel it, and we will feel it heavily. So who here thinks a recession's coming, and who here doesn't think a recession's coming? Put that in the comments. You don't think a recession's coming? Please tell me why. If you do think a recession's coming, tell me, why do you think this? Because I don't want you to just take my word for it. I want you to do the research. You do the research and you start looking at stuff like the number of people who were on food stamps. Like 2 million plus people have come off of food stamps. And it isn't because all of them got good jobs. Some of them got jobs. But a lot of them, they changed the rules of the food stamp thing. I mean, it's just like, you just see it over and over and over again. And I was watching a lot of the working poor, the struggling middle class videos, and they were all like 2011, 2010, 2009. That's about to come back. And this is another reason that I think we're having a recession. When 67% of Americans cannot come up with $1,000 cash within 30 days, that means people are literally a few paychecks from being homeless. So we have this big shift that happens, because this is the thing. It's the economy is so leveraged that it's not going to take big punches to knock it out. It's just going to take like this thing with Walmart, where they closed all those stores and all those people lost their jobs. That's huge. Carrier, the place where the jobs weren't supposed to go to Mexico, but they're still going to Mexico. As you see this, more and more of this stuff is still happening. And also the big thing of productivity gains. Companies are not, I repeat this, not bringing a lot of jobs back to the United States because they don't have to. They can cut the jobs overseas and they can bring some of the jobs back because, let's say, give you a perfect example. Delta has 80,000 employees around the world. Uber has like 6,000. Delta has a market cap of like 38 billion. Uber has a market cap of 50 billion. Companies can become extremely large. And I'm going to talk about Uber, Airbnb, Bitcoin, and some other stuff in a minute. And I'm going to tell you why it's harmful to the economy. So you can build these huge companies, these multi-billion-dollar companies with an incredibly small workforce. Now, Airbnb, Alibaba, Uber, they're these large companies that extract huge value out of the economy. So they transition wealth from a lot of people to the hands of a few. If you own an Uber, it's great. If you're a stockholder in Uber, it's great. Alibaba is great. But if you don't own part of Uber, it's extremely harmful. This is one of the reasons that we're going to have a major recession, is that we have these companies that are extremely efficient, that pull a lot of wealth out of the economy and disproportionately places it in only a few hands. That's never happened in history before. You have people who are saying that this is the greatest thing, that I can build this company and make billions of dollars and have like an employee set of maybe 1,000 people. First time in history that's ever happened. That is inherently harmful to the economy, because what you have are these small groups of companies extracting huge value out of the world. How long do you think that game can go on? Because typically, go back to Henry Ford. Henry Ford paid his workers enough money to afford the cars. This is one of the reasons that Ford took off, because everyone could afford the car. The people who worked for him could afford the product. I had a close friend who lived in China. She says the people in China cannot afford the stuff that they make for us and other people around the world. That paradigm is very dangerous, because what you do is you suck out all of this money from the economy, put it and disproportionately place it in the hands of a few people. Sooner or later, the economy is going to be depleted. And that's why I think we're going to have a recession, because we have all of these industries that do not, I should say like Bitcoin. Bitcoin does not provide value. Bitcoin provides speculative value for a few people, and like 1% of the world is trading in alt currencies and cryptocurrencies. But it really doesn't provide value. Like, let's go back to Ford. Ford buys steel, and then Ford buys rubber and leather from these vendors. And these vendors then get money from Ford, and they go out and buy stuff. Then Ford takes that steel, that rubber, that leather, and they convert it into a finished product, which it creates value. They take these things that don't have a lot of value and turn it into something, a car that has a lot of value. That is huge. That is amazing. We're not having that with a lot of these speculative, because I look at the behavior, I look at the attitude of the people who are in cryptocurrency. It is so prostituted. It is so harmful. It's so disingenuous. It's crazy because it's all about me getting rich, not about us getting rich. And, going back to Henry Ford, he did a beautiful thing. And that is one of the reasons that Detroit was the world's second largest economy behind the United States, because they transmuted all of these materials into outrageous value. So the people who were selling the steel won, the people who were selling the leather won, the people who worked at Ford won, the people who bought the cars won. Everybody won. But right now we have a lot of zero-sum games where a few people are getting extraordinarily rich while most people are barely making it. That game cannot go on forever. You can't have two Americas in this world. And that's another issue I think we're going to have a big recession, because we have China, we have the United States, we have the UK. And we have all of these economies that are draining resources, but, the United States used to trade resources. When Reagan was president, we took a lot of resources out the world, but we put it back out. So there was this nice balance. That balance is gone. It's gone. And you can only pull so much out of impoverished people or broke people. So that's why I think it's going to be a recession. I think it's going to be a big one. I know not the positive stuff you're used to hearing, but one of the things is when you look at the numbers and you look at the transformation and the redistribution of wealth, it's all disproportionate. I mean, it is crazy disproportionate, which once again, if you're Travis, that's great. But if you're Andy, the Uber passenger, or Bill, the Uber driver, it's not so great. And this isn't about being communist, because once again, Reagan years, last time that America was truly great, we had a lot of stuff going on. We were the world's #1 creditor. We lent money to everybody, kept the dollar strong. And due to incestuous policies where, back then, the average congressperson went to Congress and they came out a little bit better off than they were before. But now someone goes to Congress and they leave Congress, they become a millionaire. They go to a lobbyist with a 7 or 8 figure salary. Once again, we have wealth that is transmuted and transferred from the hands of many to the hands of few. And that is really, really killing this country. All right, so let's go see what's going on in the chat room. What's up, people? Let's see, where am I? Okay. The Wild Jones Report, what's going on? Johnny Walton, Ebony Vlogs, Kindle Vision, Short Tange, Exodus, Michael Dennis, Q Savage. That's an awesome name. What's up, Lucifer? Agent Pool, Lamode, Patches 301, Sarana, Africa, Agent J Pool. Every recession is longer and harder and deeper than the last, and considering so many still haven't recovered from 2007, it's going to be much worse. Definitely. What's up, Shalise? What's up, Stefan, Lucifer, Zola, D. Coleman, Jasmine K, Ganji? That's why I'm developing assets. I have over 10K in savings. You've crossed that first bridge. Congratulations. Denlin, we own our Coleman car. That's excellent. BC Angel Hands, what's up? Sold my house last year, currently renting. No debt, went to cheap college, still renting an apartment. What's up, Raquel? Got the 10 racks, baby got debt. Exodus. Let's see. Michelle, good morning. Short change, stacking cash, awesome. Kareem, good morning. Ganja, bail in by the banks and piggy banks. What's up, Randall? What's up, Millennial? 31 Graphics. Working on the daily, Zola. Thomas Miller, good morning. Nuisance reporting for duty. Charlatan is funny. Sarna, I'm a homeowner. However, I still have credit card debt and student loans. Working on the 10K. Short-change savings. Have attitude now. Working on building my operating account. All right. And no car note. Still driving my 2004 525i. Lucifer, I don't know about that. Exodus. Jero Mosley, been in the Bahamas spending money now. I'm ready to get it. Needed that vacay. I changed from spending habits to buying stuff at lunch. Nathan Johnson, good morning, G. Everyone, cash will be king. Gold and silver are still cheap compared to stock market. Yes, they are. Patches, I think, is coming. Joshua Hill, I've noticed median home values around major cities are back to where they were around 2007. In some places, they're much higher. Shantae Sims, I know it's coming. Garrett Geraldson is coming. It's coming. Milton Cox, yes, it's in the way. It's pretty much Agent J pulls at KW Beats. After the midterm, the recession's coming. It's going to be very interesting. Tessa Mason, I work in the employment industry. I know it's coming. U.S. economy is propped up in so many factors people are blinded to. Please share some of that stuff, Tessa. Corey B. Oh, definitely. Automation is a killer. Roger, I sold all my RET stocks. Wow, Wire Coach. A lot of people at work no longer looking but don't have a business. 31 Graphics. Trending business, yes. The recession's on its way. Raquel Mayer, I believe it's coming too. There's no way we could sustain this wealth distribution. The 1% owns 85% of the nation's wealth, and the other 9 shares is going to go cray-cray. The original Lady Pip is definitely coming, but they're also create opportunity. Warren Buffett says, be greedy when others are fearful. See, Warren's always been rich. You know, when you got to look at when someone says something like that. Warren has been rich since he was 16 years old. That's a whole different parental parent privilege thing. Oh, food prices are going up through the roof. What's up, Sevilta? Could be the retail apocalypse, because retail is definitely taking it. Retail's taking black eyes. Joshua Hill, no, the clean coal's not. I think for some people, a recession never left. Charlene McKinney. Michelle, that's funny. Nathan Justin, why do you think this new tax plan, which screwed the working people, and Sam's just shut down 500 stores, the market's going gangbusters, is because of the buybacks? One, a lot of people can't do math, so that's why they think that this new tax thing's good, because it will be rolled back. It's not permanent. And I think the stock market is super high because of the buybacks. Shante, Lucifer, oh, things are definitely out of proportion, Shante. Stefan, I know it's coming because the boomers are retiring and some are financially upside down, and there's about 8 million less of Generation X to keep up the economy as we're taking care of their parents. Yep. There's this book that talks about that. Let's see. It's good in here. All right. I don't want that. I want. All right.
It's the right-wing establishment.
All right. So, let me see. I have to hit this. Get this book. It talks about what Stefan just said. This is very, very important, these numbers. because after this recession, there's going to be some good stuff. I mean, if you're prepared, you can make money in the recession. Let's see. Whoa, 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 whoa. Zola Micah, things I don't need dropping in price like TVs and cameras, and the things I do are increasing like rent and food. The storm is coming, but it's been raining for a while. Pretty much. That's a very key point. Shortchanged my sister and mother are homeless. Wow. Erica Nicole, 200 plus unit apartments, 150 single family communities, 100 plus townhomes. It's barely 100,000 people live here full time in the Florida Panhandle. Banks are giving away money like it's cheap. It's coming. Yeah, the United States is no longer a superpower, and a lot of people don't realize that. Craigslist, what's up? Dave DC, do you think that lawn care service industry will still have customers during the recession? Some will. There will be some, but a lot of folks will get rid of that expense, especially if they're heavily leveraged. Let's see. What's up, Ghost Frequency? I believe a recession is coming because homelessness is in the roof in New York City. Working on my 10K. Rockstone, a lot more people will be reverse migration to old homes of their grandparents. Dollar stores will be the new Walmart. That is really happening. I talked about it, like people living like the Waltons. That is currently going on. Tinker Williams, can you talk about how crypto and Bitcoin will factor in? They factor in because they're pulling money out of the economy and they're not really providing a lot of value for people. You cannot have something that provides no value suck money out the economy. That's never good. What's up, Derek Brown? Always ready. Government support employers through work share supplementing payrolls to keep employers from mass layoffs. Wow. Dollar store will become the $5 store. Thanks, Tone Lee. Derek Brown, now that Yellen's leaving office, we mostly see the interest rate will increase dramatically. The interest rate should increase dramatically. The interest rates, all right. When I got my first house, I paid 11% interest. I know that sounds criminal, but the house was only like $50,000. The interest rates have to go up. They can't, the interest rates have artificially been depressed for about 15 years. Sooner or later, that cycle is going to break. You know, like you look at a company like Amazon. Amazon has warehouses. Amazon buys stuff. Amazon has Amazon services. So Amazon is a company that makes a lot of money, but they also spend a lot of money. That's really good for the economy. But these companies that make a lot of money through the high level of efficiencies and they don't spend a lot of money, that's not really good for the economy. That's good for those individuals who own those properties, but I'm going to put it to you like this. Check out what happened to Argentina. Check out what happened to Bosnia. They both had these very, very bad depressions. And just see, read these books. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me just go to Bosnia recession. All right. Let's see. Let's get in here. All right. Make sure that I have sound. So Bosnia had like the double dip recession. Let's go to Amazon. I mean, this is already happening in some places. I don't think that we will have a recession or an episode like they did, but I believe all right, that's just not it's not bringing it up. There was some really good books about may have to go to a blog. Bosnian. You know what? Let's just go economic collapse. There we go. They didn't even want to call it a recession. So a full SHTF, because just kind of go ahead and educate yourself on Bosnia and the Argentine collapse. Let's see, Argentina economic. Yeah, they didn't even go recession. They went, okay, check that out. And that would kind of give you some insights on what's coming and what's happening here, because we have a lot of stuff that's, like as someone said, that's propped up. It's really propped up. And you can only prop something up for so long. And it's done intentionally. That's the salty part about it. It's an intentional process. Like Bitcoin. I'll speak on that. Matter of fact, let's see. Let's go to my Facebook. So I actually posted this the other day. Let's see. I posted this. Worries that the price of Bitcoin is being propped up. Bitcoin is being manipulated. If Bitcoin had been left alone and wasn't prostituted, it'd probably be at $4 or $5 grand, which would still be awesome. But these huge and crazy gains, it's market manipulation. And let's see, at the current moment, because Bitcoin cannot seem to escape the $10,000 to $11,000. It's struggling real hard. It actually, what is it now? I woke up this morning, and I'm gonna actually show you the screenshots, because it's melting down. Like, woke up this morning, this was the price of Bitcoin, right? Okay. About an hour later, come on. Yeah. This was the price of Bitcoin. And about an hour later, it's down some more. Bitcoin may hit 8,000, high 8,000s today. It may actually hit that today, because it doesn't have far to go. And once it goes below 9,000, I think it's really going to start corroding, because it's being propped up and it's being manipulated. Now, this isn't to say that Bitcoin, the technology, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just it's being prostituted. And a lot of people have lost money, and that's part of the problem, and that's the central issue I'm talking about. All of this money is being sucked out the economy. You've had people put in 30,000, 50,000, 100,000, 500,000 in Bitcoin that could have went somewhere else in the economy to an even exchange. It just got sucked up. And now those folks don't have that money to distribute that income across the economy. It's just gone. It is gone. That is not good. And that's one of my big issues with Bitcoins and a lot of these cryptocurrencies. Isn't that they're not good and that they're not the wave of the future. I think they are, but they're being prostituted, and we need regulation. Because without regulation, this is what you get. And, I'm not a big government guy, but I saw it what it was, and that's why I bailed. I actually thought I was going to leave about 5,000 on the table. It's very hard to time the market. Plus, you just can't sell Bitcoin like when you want to. It took me like 12 hours to get my transactions through. And, it still went up a little bit, so I was good. But, with these kind of swings now, where it could literally change $1,000, $2,000 in a mere few hours, you can't get you can't get in and exit your position. There's a lot of things that are going on with that. But just to show you, and I'm going to be charting this. Okay, it went up to 274, so it had a little love, but this is what's happening. Let's see. Whoa, we got some folks up in here. I mean, AKWB, that's what's going to happen. It's going to have a lot of people who are going to find themselves in that situation because they don't have the mandatory 10 grand. They have no hustle skills. Bear Bandana, sure thing, Tanya. Starscream, 1540. If you have 30K of student loans, would you still recommend stacking 10 cash? Yes. You need to stack the cash. Yes, Starscream, 1540. Stack that cash. The original Lady Pimp, I did not even watch the State of the Union. I knew he was going to lie. I'm not going to talk about it because I didn't watch it, but I knew he was going to lie. There was just no point. What's up, Roger? Dave DC, maybe this is why so many people are buying Sprinter vans and living in them. This might be a way to survive in a recession. There's a movement called the minimalism where people are converting old vans, Sprinter vans, and they're traveling around the country and living on very low. Those folks will probably be fine because they're not living on much. Corey, Venezuela, Argentina, and Bosnia. Thanks. Michael Dennis, you're funny. AJ Pool, the rates are too low and the Fed has no more tricks that they can pull to keep the house of cards standing. The crash will be epic. That's what I think. I mean, because these interest rates are artificially just too low. Michelle, there's some documentary about the Argentine recession. There's a lot of information about them. Lamont, I went to Boston with the Army, very crazy over there. You saw crazy stuff. Patches. Dave D said, I was just watching YouTube videos about Sprinter van conversions before G came on. We may have to build some because they're going to be a hot product. I think so. You already have a bunch of folks living in vans. The way Argentina decimated its black population. That is kind of funny. Farrell is the guy from Argentina who blogs about the economic collapse there. What's up, regular web guy? Crypto shakeout. People are losing their shirts. Always ready. I mean, it was manipulated. And if you could look at the data, and a lot of people refuse to look at the data. Bitcoin, $2 didn't be worth buying. Mo Meaty, what student loan payment? That's funny. Vaporized. We'll talk about that today. Postal workers are not safe. No one is safe. This last economy showed that police officers, firemen, city clerks, all these people got laid off. There's nobody that's safe. So, Walter Reed, where are you going to stack that cash? Banks. Well, this is what you do. You check out the oldest and biggest banks, and you look at their balance sheet. I mean, this stuff is available. You look for banks, conservative banks, because PNC Bank, super conservative. They're not going to go out of business. Wells Fargo does stuff, so you got to look at where to put your money. And credit unions. Credit unions are going to be all right too, because credit unions are not getting into the speculative stuff, and they pay a lot of money back to their shareholders. The Hectors. I didn't think Bitcoin won't go above 16 this year. Every time it goes above 14K, there's a sell-offs pulling the value down like crabs in the barrel. Bitcoin for the last 35 days has struggled to break 11. It'll get 11, it'll stay there, then it'll drop, then it struggled to hold 10. And now it is it's flirting with 8 grand. Today, because I chart it every day because I do paper trading, and I want to be educated when I, talk smack about Bitcoin. I just don't want to be, no, I was like, I look at it every day. I look at the price. I look at the other cryptocurrencies, and I see this pattern because it's just, matter of fact, can I get into my Coinbase account? I found another Coinbase account that has some Bitcoin in it. That's just cracking me up. Nope, it's not letting anything out. So I'm probably going to have to get out of I got too many windows open. Get out of that. And Bitcoin price index is, I won't show you that. They use public gems. What's up, Dashiki? Yeah, credit unions are going to be really rock solid because credit unions typically don't get into all these bad decisions that major banks do. Wait a minute, she lost her money and she blamed you, Tone Lee? What the hell? That's funny. I didn't order anything from Corey B. Bitcoin was messed up when Wall Street started trading futures. We have to find the success to the Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the black planet MySpace. I don't think Bitcoin is going to be the main coin either. Crooks of America. We'll change the name again, screwing half of the country. I don't think any savings account is high interest. I think that's just the way of the dodo bird. You used to be able to get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% off savings and passport accounts. Not anymore. And part of that is people understood that you had to make money, pay money. It was more of a reciprocal agreement in the country, where now it is get as much value out of this turnip, squeeze it until it is bitter leaves. So that's the thing. All right. So let me see. Let me get into. That's funny. It is really struggling. Let's see. Let's go here. All right. So what are we going to do today? Let's see. Let's go to coupons. Create a coupon, and I will. Do I even have a? I have no. Oh, okay. I got something here. Well, let's see. What are we gonna do? We're gonna take 40% off all products, and we're gonna go. What is today? Today is Thursday, so we're just going to go let's see, let's go 45, save the coupon. So the code, my pen won't write. Come on, there we go. I actually messed that up. but the code is let's see. There it is. There we go. We've got focus. The code today is 40% off any course at Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills. It is Thursday, all in lower caps. So I'll leave that like that for a few hours, and you can jump in and get what you want. So let's kind of go over some stuff in the spirit of this chat. All right. I'm going to say this one. We're going to go with that one. And I'm going to change some other stuff. So these are the two. Writing for Cash. That's got a lot of different stuff. Go ahead and use your 40% coupon off of that. And let's see. Because I actually made a mistake. Yeah, that was the price for Tax Slayer. So let me just, wait a minute. Tax Slayer. Oh, okay. I know what I did. So let me go ahead and fix that up, because I actually left that for the people the other day, and I forgot to change it back. But we will do that right now. So there we go. Because that was already like 40% off. So you got Tax Slayer for the average citizen to win. And you got, there we go, Writing for Cash. These will be probably the most beneficial to people who are catching hell and need to get something started. Because one of the things you got to do is manage the money that you already have, and you've got to make more money. There is no middle ground. There is no other way around this. There's nothing else. You got to manage what you have, and you have to make more money. Once this becomes a mantra, once this becomes a thing for your life, and all of the links or the links to get to these courses should be under the video. That's it. Because if you take this year and you get your financial house order, and that's all you do is just you get your financial house in order, and you start making an additional and consistent, that's the key word, $500 a month. Just $500 a month, your situation will change tremendously. Because one of the problems I have with hustler porn is it has people gassed up that if they're not making $100K, they're not making $1 million, they ain't really doing nothing, when only 8% of the country makes over six figures. 8% of the country. 8% of 330 million folks. So let's do that real quick. Hold on a second. I'm going to pop out of here. So we got 330 million folks. There's more than that. And how many ever illegals? So that's the number. 330. That's the Americans, right? Minus 8%. So 26 million, let's just say 27 million people out of 330 make six figures. Now, go ahead and move this up to seven figures. You could just minus, it's going to get down to probably 5 million, which is a huge market. But it's a huge market. But just to compare and contrast, 26 million people in this country make six figures. 26 million, 27. And six figures ain't what it used to be. When we get up to seven figures, it's like You know what? Let's do that real quick, because this is always good to do these things. Once again, you can get the courses from under the video, and you can use today's code word, which is Thursday in lowercase. That's your coupon code. All right, so let's kind of do this. It's been a while since I've done this, but let's ask our friend Google. How many people in America make 7 figures? It's 2012. Let's see. Let's go with 2016. 1%. So let's go. Because, I mean, look at this. It's like 50. You get all the way over to here just at 50. Well, let me see. Let me blow that up some more. Because it's kind of small, so let's see. So 50 gets you to the 50 percentile. Then let's see. 150. 150 brings you to like 5% of the country. 150. And then when you get to 350, so there's not a lot of people making let's do this. 150. You're 4%er at 150. So let's go 130. You're a 5%er. So you've got that going on. And we do 500K. So you're doing. So this just illustrates all these folks here on YouTube and Facebook talking about they're making 6 figures a month. They're either lying or they're very exceptional. That's it. There's no other option. They're lying or they're just exceptional. Let's see. Let me do this. Let's go. If you're black, you're male, Gen X. Yes, I am Gen X. That's what I am. Some college. So, I mean, the numbers are real. You got a lot of people out here who are lying to you, making you feel that if you earn the extra $1,500 a month, you ain't doing nothing. Extra $1,500 a month is 19,000 on top of your job income. That is life-changing. That is life-changing. That is generationally life-changing if you manage that money correctly. But, you know, you got the hustler porn dudes and dudettes to get your hindbrain all gassed up. Get you gassed up. So let's see, what do we have here? What's up, Mayamito Jones? BT the creator. Black Planet. Black Planet was good to me. The original Lady Pimp. What's up, Archangel? I mean, that's you can only get so much out of poor people. I mean, that's just the reality of it. What's up, Brian Tucker? Oh, yeah, Facebook, a lot of people, because a lot of these companies did the math, and they know that these markets are being manipulated, and it's very much like scams. All right, I'm gonna tell you why Facebook banned that. Michael Dennis, speaking of recession preparation, I saw Killer Mike on Travis Smiley, not too old episode, talking about black fathers should hold more guns and ammunition. Do you think black Of course. Um, guns are a form of currency. Guns don't lose that much value, even when you sell them used. They just don't, unless you get something like one of those TARs. But most guns hold their value. He just took it in 2014 and held on to it. If he had sold at the top of the market, he would have made 16 million. What's up, Johnny? Rebecca Knight. I never forget during the first recession, there was a patient at my mom's hospital that tried to commit suicide because he had a master's degree and was working at McDonald's. Yep. Regular web guy. What type of service would be great during recession? Vice, cigarettes, alcohol. Vice doesn't change. Short change. High school dropouts are laughing right now. No school debt. I remember the movie I, Robot, the scene where they were at the bar restaurant, 2 Heinekens, 2 burgers. The bill was $28. Man, that's now in some places. Black Planet was real good for me. I love Black Planet. I was the 50th thousand member because when they used to do that. So definitely love me some Black Planet. So before I bounce, be sure to get Tax Slayer with your 40% off. Be sure to get Writing for Cash with your 40% off. And the coupon for today is, come on, there we go. You're going to focus Thursday. There it is. All right, I will be back at 6 p.m. with some more of this good old recession talk. We've got a few things planned. I don't know which one I'm going to pull out, but like I said, the first steps is you got to get out of debt. You got to save 10 grand. You got to get you a side hustle. You got to keep your job too. This is preparing for war. It's preparing for economic war. I just see it coming. I see the clouds coming. And typically I am usually way early on these things before other people, but a few things I've been wrong on. But was I wrong about Amazon? Was I wrong about Amazon Kindle? Nope. Was I wrong about now I don't know, because the thing with Trump, I still think he will be impeached. I really do. I think Milner's going to find out some stuff that's going to just blow all our heads, and then the government, the GOP will have no choice, and then they're going to be tainted because of him. But most of my predictions, they be spot on. Just a little early, but they be spot on. And also, I want you guys to be protected. And if you follow these things when everyone else's lives are crashing down, because right now, I know in my neighborhood, there's some people who are leveraged to the teeth, and they're going to be the first ones to go because they have no assets. And that's how it is. All right, so I will see you guys at 6 p.m. It's going to be some more of this wonderful recession talk and how to protect yourself. So with that, catch you guys later.